Joining us live now, former Labor Senator Stephen Conroy. Can you just stare outside for us, Stephen? Give us a live look. How are things?
Look, where I live in Williamstown, it's the fog has lifted, but out at Melbourne Airport, it's sad to say that the fog is like pea soup, as you've just shown, and it is causing havoc even in my own household.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, my daughter was due to fly away today, and so that meant that she couldn't get out this morning.
Okay. Let's go to from one malaise to another. The Labor government at the moment, and in particular this Deloitte's report that showed the deficit has, well, it's getting bigger now by $50 billion. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Stephen? It might have gone. All right. So anyway, I was going to ask Stephen if he can still hear me about the issues that the problem. Yeah. So Stephen, you got me now?
Sorry about that. So the fog must have caused a
Was it the cat? Was it the cat again?
No, Rafi is innocent this time.
So Katie Gallagher, a short time ago, she's still defending Labor's spending, even though Deloitte's has focused on that spending this morning, saying it's too much and the tax take is too little, because now the deficit has blown out by some $50 billion, but still defending Labor's economic record. But the punters are not going to be duped into what's going on at the moment. They know that everything's going backwards. What are your thoughts on this malaise?
Well, look, there's no question that big habit of growth, and we've talked about this over the last 12 months, going backwards. That's caused, and the extra effect of the ludicrous Reserve Bank position where it ignores all economic data and still sticks to economic dogma and keeping interest high. So people are really suffering. Deloitte have a tradition of producing reports every few months to come out in advance of government. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. Their raw data isn't too bad, but we'll have to wait and see in another few weeks whether or not they're close to the money this time. They've been wrong plenty of times and correct plenty of times. So economic forecasting is like that. But to your core point about ordinary Australians, they are doing it tough. And they are blaming the government at the moment, and they want to see more action from the government. Yeah. No question about that.
So given what happened in Queensland and given what happened in the US, and this is the first time we've spoken since then, is bad news? Does that spell bad news for Anthony Albanese?
Well, I think there are real lessons to be learned from how Donald Trump put together a coalition to win the election. He appealed to those who are angry. The most telling line was, are you better today than 4 years ago?
Well, I mean, that can be applied here.
Absolutely. And so I think the government needs to be laser focused, not distracted by a range of, sideshows. Peter Dutton's doing a good job of keeping those sideshows up in front so the government aren't able to talk about their tax cut, aren't able to talk about their energy relief, aren't able to talk about their building in Australia model. So Dutton is doing an excellent job as opposition leader in keeping the government off balance.
Yeah, but then you've got, and I know that social media is important and something's got to be done to save the kids, particularly when it comes to online bullying, but this is where the focus is going to be today, and there's been recent examples of the government not focusing on the issue of the day, which is cost of living and helping folks out there in Struggle Street. Is this another example of something that's misguided?
No, I think the government are spot on this. I think the vast majority of Australian parents want to see action. You see all sorts of discussions about products that harm children in particular and can impact on children. And about time we started accepting that the world has changed fundamentally. The iPhone onwards generation, the impacts on their mental health, on their general well-being, the stress, the bullying, all of that, Australians would like to see something done. And what I would say to everyone out there is stop listening to the big companies, stop listening to the big tech companies who do not believe in moderation themselves. They could fix all of this themselves. They know how to do it. Don't believe a word they say. They know how to solve these problems. They just don't want to because they make money off the misery they create.
Is that, fair. Is that your Christmas tree behind you, Stephen, or is that just like an added decoration on your stairwell there?
It's just got up this weekend. I thought a bit of just shift the camera angle to get the Christmas tree in.
So that's the tree there.
Yeah,
what are we? November 26th? No, that's is that
we've
about
gone early.
I do. I must say I do like it. I've gotten into the habit in recent years of buying the natural tree though. But if you go too early, you see it can die before Christmas, which kind of defeats the purpose. But I'd have it all year round if I could. We'll have to leave it there, Stephen. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.